We're going to get back into it.
Plaintiff calls Christian Carino, Your Honor.
Christian Carino?
And as with a number of the other depositions, this one will start with questioning by Ms. Heard's counsel, and at some point switch over to questioning by counsel for Mr. Depp.
All right. And how do you spell the last name just for me, just in case?
C-A-R-I-N-O.
Thank you.
An address for the record, and you may use your business address if you feel more comfortable.
Sure. Christian Carino, and the work address is 2000 Avenue of the Stars in Century City.
And that is in California?
Correct.
And what is your current occupation?
I'm a talent agent.
And could you give me just a very brief description of your educational background and work experience?
Sure. I have a BA from the University of Massachusetts.
You're not perfectly lined up, and you're behaving like an annoying, smarmy little Tumblr
idiot. For approximately 16 years, and before that, I had a 12.
Okay, I have something insane to admit to you guys. When I was looking for houses, this guy's house was one of the houses that I almost bought. 100%. This is the house. This is insane. Literally, I didn't buy it because it was psychotic. Like, look at the glasses. Oh my God. I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
I represent multiple clients and brands in transactions in the entertainment space.
Look at the mirrors, not glasses. Sorry.
And when you say in the entertainment space, what are you including?
Just the different genres of entertainment, everything from motion picture to television to books to licensing to modeling, all the different areas that the agency operates in.
As a talent agent representing multiple clients, what types of services do you perform for them, and what is the objective?
Okay. Yep. I conduct business transactions on behalf of clients and brands in the entertainment space.
And what does that mean?
It means I organize, pitch, transact in contractual agreements between talent and studios, talent and brands, entertainment platforms and individuals, brands and individuals.
Do you represent any actors?
I do work with every different group of talent within the agency, and for each person it's different, the business that I personally oversee for them. So in some cases I am negotiating contractual agreements for a music artist to go to Las Vegas. In some cases, I'm transacting an agreement for an artist to have a relationship with a brand. In some cases, it's an artist with a platform like Netflix. It spans the general platform capabilities that the agency has overall.
Is one of the objectives of your representation to build the careers of the individuals you represent?
Yes.
Did you have any conversations with Mr. Waldman in which you expressed any thoughts or opinions on how you believed any litigation was having an effect on Mr. Depp's reputation or career?
Yes.
How many times?
One that I can recall.
And when was that?
I have no idea. Years ago.
If you expressed to Mr. Waldman that the sooner the litigation was over, the better for Mr. Depp, what were you thinking when you said that? Why did you think that?
I think anytime somebody is in litigation.
If Ludwig is watching currently, everyone should ask him why he's not only war profiteering, but also domestic abuse profiteering when he's himself is not a political streamer like myself. And also why he didn't respond to my text message because I said I wanted to cover it with him. Is he too big time now? Is that what's going on? Is that what happened? That's right. Elwig. Respond to my text messages, you fucking bitch.
And what do you mean by it distracts from the career?
I mean that with somebody who is well known, people don't want to hear they're in a lawsuit with anybody about anything.
Guys, everyone in Hollywood looks like that, okay? You're looking at this dude's fit and you're like, oh, that's crazy. Like, he's just the agent. What the fuck? Like, everyone in LA looks like this.
Or hear news about people.
I'm in shock that, like, I'm pretty sure this was the house I almost bought. I mean, not almost, but like
And
one of the houses I
why do
looked
you
at.
believe that?
You're hearing
Based
the
on
background
my
of the video.
Experience.
It's not Marat
in
working in the background.
This world for the past 16 years.
Hold on, I got a pee. I'll be back.
And when you say it negatively impacts, what do you mean by that?
People don't want to hear that the people that they look up to are in litigation.
Do you also believe that that impacts career decisions by producers, directors, companies, with brands, things of that nature?
Yes.
And in what way?
Because the general public doesn't want to hear that people that they look up to are in litigation. And when the more oxygen it takes up in the overall news or coverage of an individual, and the less focused it is on that person's career, the less interested studios, brands, the general public becomes in that person.
And therefore less opportunities?
Yes.
When you expressed to Adam Waldman that your opinion that the sooner the litigation is over for Mr. Depp, the better, what did Mr. Waldman say?
To be honest, I don't recall exactly what he said, but something like, we're gonna get this over with as fast as we can.
Mr. Carino, I'm going to ask you to take a look at what has been marked as Carino exhibit number, we'll keep it labeled 4. Do you believe that the Mandel lawsuit posed a distraction to Mr. Depp's career?
I don't know.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as Carino deposition exhibit number 5. And as you can see here, it's an article June 21st, 2017, the Hollywood Gossip. Do you recall that coming up during that time frame, that issue?
No.
Have you read or heard of the Rolling Stones?
Yes.
Have you read or heard of GQ?
Yes.
Mr. Carino, I'm going to ask you to take a look at what has been marked as Carino Deposition Exhibit number 2, and it's Rolling Stone publication on June 21, 2018.
I'm going to
Do you see
have
that?
Ludwig
Yes.
on.
Do you ever read this article?
Parts of it.
Are you aware of whether this article in the Rolling Stone, June 2018, that's reflected in Carino Exhibit number 2, impacted in a negative way Mr. Depp's reputation or career?
Elena, I don't think it's possible to ask anybody that question without having done research among the people who read a specific article. If you're asking my opinion about whether an article like this or this particular article, in my opinion, would have a positive or negative effect on somebody's, career, I could potentially answer that. But as to definitively whether an article has or has not had an impact on somebody's career, nobody can answer that question without research. Specifically.
Mr. Carino, I think we were just going to start looking at the Carino Exhibit number 3. This is an article.
I don't think I got
that
COVID from
was
Coachella, chat,
published
because
in November of 2018.
I went to Coachella far beyond the incubation period.
Do you
But people
recall
want to believe that it is
reading
from
this at
Coachella,
some
so I
point?
just say yes.
What publication is that?
This is GQ.
I have a friend who actually did go to Coachella and got
Probably
COVID
read
that I didn't
part of
actually
it,
get to
but
see
I
there,
haven't
but
read it.
she was sick with COVID last week.
Have you had any direct contact with Ed White or his company?
Right now,
Yes.
okay,
What is
a bit of a COVID guy. Oh yeah, big COVID guy, big time. Okay,
Payment.
what is happening currently? We're going to be talking about here today
Deals
is,
Johnny
I guess, the back and forth between Johnny Depp talking about Amber Heard in a Rolling Stone article alongside the same exact things that Johnny Depp is currently suing Amber Heard for in this defamation suit. Originally, there were 14 instances of domestic abuse that a UK OIBROV civil court found to meet the burden of proof
Ed,
for potential domestic abuse happening in a Bible lawsuit that was happening because of a Sun article written after the divorce and the amicable split between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
I think in all cases, I just referred him to somebody who worked for me to find out what the payment schedule was.
Other than these occasions where Ed White would reach out to you to ask when timing of payment, did you have any other connection or communication?
A lot of people are on
with Ed
Johnny
White or
Depp's
his
side,
company?
so much so that I
Information
think
from
like
Depp.
maybe people are a little bit more aggressively on Johnny Depp's side.
Were you
To
familiar
the
with
degree
Jake
that
Bloom?
to the degree that it feels like they are unironically being like very
Do you know
sexist and
whether
misogynistic.
Mr. Bloom ever
I've
represented
seen some
Mr.
fucking
Depp?
statements about like, Amber Heard needs to be fucking
What was your
murdered, shit like that, and
understanding
that's
of what
obviously
sort of
unacceptable.
representation?
He was
I
a
don't agree
lawyer.
with that. Tina Kitten, oh my god.
Did you ever talk
Good
to
morning,
Jake
Hassan
Bloom?
Haas. Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Tina Kitten.
On how many occasions
However,
did you
I
speak
am
with Jake Bloom
on
relating
Johnny
to
Depp's side in
Mr.
the sense
Depp?
that I do believe that Johnny Depp was a victim of
no idea.
domestic violence and was
Was it pretty
basically
frequently?
considered to be an abuser by Amber Heard,
What does
and
that
Amber
mean?
Heard did come out later
Well,
and
is it
said
more
that
than
he
that?
was an abuser. He was
Are you
a
asking me
domestically
if I
violent
had-
partner.
Approximately 10 conversations with Jake over the duration of our relationship.
Yes.
I've never heard him say hi to someone like that before.
actually
It's
asked
Tina
him
Kitten.
that.
Of course, I'm going to get excited and say hi like that.
Okay.
She's the best.
I mean, I'm guessing that
Not all
It was
people on
probably
Depp's side are
less than
misogynists.
10
Well, yeah,
total.
I myself am on Johnny Depp's side to a certain
Was
degree.
Mr. Bloom still
But all
representing
misogynists
Mr.
are on
Depp
Depp's
when
side?
he
That's
started
certainly true,
representing
yes.
Mr. Depp?
I believe so, but I'm not sure.
And when did you start representing Mr. Depp?
I believe it was in late 2016.
Mr. Carino, are you looking at something to be able to refresh your recollection?
I am.
What do you have in front of you?
A note.
This guy have red hair. What's
that I
going
made to
on?
myself of the date.
Motherfucking California
of
Andes, bro.
When Johnny was a client, and I think I wrote down October 2016.
Do you have a recollection of the context of your discussions with Mr. Bloom?
Yes. My recollection of the conversations I had with Jake were in regard to getting Johnny and Jake to meet and work out whatever the issues were around their disagreement.
You think that even if he can even if he can prove, I've become Arabic now, that she exaggerated about the abuse, that means the defamation level. I don't know. I
So
don't
you
think this
were
is
trying
about.
to broker.
Amber Heard doesn't have $50 million anyway. This defamation suit is not about $50 million. It's more so about correcting the record so that Johnny Depp can, get jobs again, basically. I'm going to give you the quick, short, and sweet of it, okay? Rundown. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard meet on Rum Diaries, on the set of Rum Diaries in 2009. They, get into a heated relationship there on set. Johnny Depp divorces his wife and, ultimately ends up marrying Amber Heard. Okay? Abuse quickly starts after, according to Amber Heard and according to Johnny Depp now as well. Okay? In between time frame of 2009 to, I guess, 2016, when the relationship inevitably ended, there are many, many instances of back and forth abuse. But the 14 instances that everyone hyper focuses on is the 14 that is, I guess, the most important, because Oibrev Court basically said that those were instances where Johnny Depp was in the wrong and could have been potentially abusive. So we've talked about this. I've talked about this extensively. Okay. Or Johnny wasn't married. He was in a relationship, I think. Some of the details, I have COVID brain. Okay. I might get fucking wrong. Shut up. So what ended up happening in this process was throughout this time, there was some back and forth. There was one instance that was like very public, okay? One instance of domestic abuse that was very public, and that was actually recent, closer to the end. The one that basically ended their relationship, where Johnny Depp may or may not have allegedly thrown a phone at Amber Heard's face, okay, striking her in the face, and you actually see like the red bruises. Okay? So basically, at the end of that relationship, they have what is considered, I think, an amicable split. Throughout the relationship, towards the end of it, Johnny Depp is like obviously cycling in and out of drug abuse. He's cycling in and out of his addictive spirals. An alcoholic. He also has, a fuckload of other issues as well. He's a victim in that circumstance, for certainly, but one that is also kind of hard to manage, because one that can be abusive emotionally, especially, and certainly toxic. So it's a dangerous combination. It also seems like Johnny Depp himself was over the top jealous when it comes to the way that Amber Heard may or may not have approached other relationships while they were in a relationship. Okay. So, there's a lot of instances where he's like upset about Amber Heard potentially fucking Billy Bob Thornton. He's upset about Amber Heard potentially fucking James Franco. Of course, ironic, because, that's how you push people away. But I do think that Amber Heard most likely did those things, okay? That doesn't justify Johnny Depp's reaction to it, but the reason why I'm on Johnny Depp's side in all of this ultimately is because, one, despite the fact that Johnny Depp himself engaged in abusive moments and even physical confrontations, I think by and large, Amber Heard was responsible for more damage overall, gaslighting and manipulation overall, and wanted to present this in a way where it was one-sided. Okay? So, but, cheating doesn't justify fucking, being mentally violent. I mean, not mentally, sorry, physically violent. He's toxic, she's abusive, similar acts, but different intensity. Yes. I think that's a pretty decent analysis of the situation. However, leading up to this very moment, anyway, after the relationship ended, Johnny Depp has a job with Fantastic Beasts, right? The Hollywood spinoff of Harry Potter, which is actually fucking a failed franchise now, as of this past weekend. Johnny Depp is hired for that. Johnny Depp is hired for a role in that situation. And they turn around and some Sun guy hits J.K. Rowling and says, "Oh, I thought you were fucking friends. I thought you were a friend to women overall, but here you are, taking a wife beater like Johnny Depp and putting Johnny Depp in your movie, your Harry Potter spin-off, Fantastic Beasts. I'm writing for the Sun, lad." Now, originally their divorce had ended in an amicable way, where I think Johnny Depp, I believe, paid her $7 million. And basically at the end of that divorce, the conclusion was neither side admits wrongdoing. Okay. Johnny Depp can't say that Amber Heard was gold digger and was causing chaos specifically to get his money. And Amber Heard was saying that Johnny Depp was not abusive. However, when this Sun case happens, Johnny Depp loses his fucking job. When the Sun, when the dish rag of a newspaper, the Sun, writes this article about J.K. Rowling and Johnny Depp, his job is compromised. And basically, after that, Johnny Depp launches a defamation suit a libel suit, in which both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and the Sun, and the writer from the Sun, I believe, also have to testify. And in that process, 14 specific instances of domestic violence, according to Amber Heard, come out. And the judge basically rules in favor of Amber Heard, even in instances where Amber herself was being physically abusive to Johnny Depp, and says, "I've basically decided in this, in this honorable court case that Johnny Depp is in the right. I mean, Johnny Depp is in the wrong and Amber Heard is in the right." Okay? Which is fucking bananas if you ask me. Like, they looked at, it's a he said, she said situation with a couple witnesses from Amber Heard's side for like two of the instances, okay, that in my opinion are indefensible acts from Johnny Depp. And straight up, they won that case. And they said, the court basically ruled that Johnny Depp could be considered a wife beater. So, yeah, due to intimidation and self-defense, which is fucking insane. Now, there was evidence in the cases, including messages. Yes, the evidence in the cases, including messages, was shaky at best. Specifically, one that I like to focus on is the finger incident, okay? A lot of people on the internet that are on Amber Heard's side, quietly, have been using the incident where Johnny Depp's finger was fucking lobbed off in another act of domestic abuse. And people, straight up, in the most insane fashion, say that Johnny Depp's joking text messages to his doctor, or even the way he describes the incident, is proof that he cut his own fucking finger. That is completely psychotic. I'm sorry, why the fuck would Johnny Depp cut his own dominant hand's finger off? Psychos. Why would he? It's insane. And people are literally still using, like, "I cut my finger" in a text message that Johnny Depp sent to state that he basically fucking did it to himself. And that's crazy. Okay? I broke my leg doesn't mean I took a hammer and broke my fucking leg. And no, he didn't threaten to cut himself in front of Amber with a knife. He has admitted this 2 days ago in court. He said he gave Amber a knife and said, kill me. This is what you want from me. Anyway, just take the last thing you have of me. And that is, of course, dramatic and emotionally manipulative. That's emotional abuse that Johnny Depp absolutely fucking used in that situation. Yeah, take my blood. That's what he said. That doesn't fucking mean that he cut his own finger off, you absolute psychopath. Holy shit. Borderline personality disorder can hypnotize people. My mom stole $13K from my bank account because she's so slick. Amber has that power too. Okay. Now, you know, BPD is very difficult to manage in a relationship. I know from personal experience, but you can still be an incredibly wonderful human being outside of, you know, having borderline personality disorder. Okay. Like, chill. Jesus Christ. The problem with Amber Heard isn't BPD. It's also BPD plus narcissism and plus the willingness to unload onto their partner. One of the kindest, most loving individuals I've ever known has borderline personality disorder that they deal with on a daily basis, okay, that I have to medicate for. And they're a wonderful human being. Just that hard to manage, especially if you're someone like myself. Okay? Trisha? No, I'm not talking about Trisha. I don't know Trisha. I don't want to know Trisha. I worked at inpatient psych for 6 years, and BPD patients were far most difficult to deal with, but it isn't their fault, and they want to get better. It's one of the worst things that could happen in one's brain before memory loss stuff. Yeah. Now, one of the key aspects of this, in my opinion, was when Amber Heard basically stated that like no one would believe Johnny Depp if he were to come out as a victim of abuse. Now, I might be a little personally biased in this situation as someone who has experienced similar things, and I don't like to talk about it too much because parasocial motherfuckers get crazy about it. But basically, Amber Heard openly states, Johnny Depp says, you hit me, you punched me, and Amber Heard says, hit you, I slapped you, you're being a baby, you're being a bitch, no one will believe you, Johnny, even if you come out and say it. And that was like a kind of triggering moment for me, but it also, you know, unlocked, it functionally unwinded a lot of the one-sidedness of this court case leading up to what we knew about everything that was going on. Okay? So that is like straight up gaslighting, girl bossing, slay queening bullshit. Okay? Very damning for Amber as well. So let's get back to the case, and I'll give you more details as time goes on.
Specifically, in general.
Do you believe that Mr. Depp is still a shroud of mystery, not visible to the public?
She said, I didn't punch you, I hit you. Yeah, exactly.
And when did that change?
I don't know exactly when.
Would you say it was cumulative over the period of time as a result of all of the litigation and the publicity ensuing?
Probably. Agree with that.
Is there any one specific litigation that you believe most significantly impacted on Mr. Depp's personal reputation no longer being a shroud of mystery and not visible to the public?
Are you okay? Is your brain all right?
My opinion is that Amber's accusations would have had the most dramatic impact on his off-screen reputation. I'm not talking about any one specific accusation.
When you say Amber's accusations, what do you mean by that?
I mean the things that she's accused Johnny of doing, both in that have been made public.
I would have loved to watch the Ghislaine trial in a similar manner. However, it was a federal court case. This is just a defamation suit. And I'm pretty certain that Johnny Depp wants this to be public so that even if he's not going to win the fucking defamation suit or $50 million, even if he ends up winning it because Amber Heard doesn't have $50 million, This is more about correcting the record, and at the very least, like pumping out as much agitprop as possible that makes Johnny Depp look better.
Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation, would Amber have been filing the divorce action and obtaining a domestic violence restraining order have had a dramatic impact on Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation?
I think the only way I can answer that is by saying I don't think filing for divorce would have any impact whatsoever. And I'm actually not familiar with the lawsuit to get the restraining order, so I don't know exactly what's in there. But if that was based on claims of or accusations of abuse, then that, in my opinion, would have a negative impact on Johnny's off-screen reputation.
Mr. Carino, we were talking about Amber's accusations and your view that those would have the most dramatic impact on Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation. And you were talking about her accusations of domestic abuse and violence, correct?
Yes.
Were you aware that the Dan Wooten article published in The Sun included specific accusations by Amber Heard of domestic violence and abuse by Mr. Depp?
The Sun case, is that what you're asking about?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
First the article itself that was in the paper, the why is J.K. Rowling genuinely happy about employing Mr.
For the record,
Depp,
like,
wife beater?
I don't even think the
Yes.
Sun case that like popped everything off wasn't even exactly Amber Heard's fault. So that's something to also consider in this situation. She did go and testify in court for the case. She could have disparaged those remarks or something like that, but she didn't feel, she felt like, no, those were real instances. So I'm going to fucking go out of my way and go to London and you know, defend the Sun's integrity in the situation.
Are you able to say how much?
But that was what popped off this second round.
Reputation was impacted by the Mandel lawsuit.
No.
Now, you were aware that the op-ed,
And then after that,
by
she
Dan
wrote herself.
Wooten in
She
The
wrote something
Sun
herself as well.
included accusations by Amber of domestic violence against Mr. Depp, correct?
Yes.
Are you aware, one way or the other, how much Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation was impacted by the complaint that was filed in this case that contained Amber Heard's accusations of domestic violence and abuse by Mr. Depp?
No.
Are you aware of how much Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation was impacted as a result of the op-ed in the Washington Post from Amber Heard?
No.
Are you aware of how much Mr. Depp's off-screen reputation was impacted by the accusations included in the Waldman tweet on May 2020 of the op-ed?
No.
Are you aware of any role or opportunity that Mr. Depp lost as a result of the op-ed by Dan Wooten and Son?
No.
Are you aware of any role or, and when I'm saying opportunity, any kind of business opportunity that Mr. Depp lost as a result of the particulars of claim that Mr. Depp filed?
No.
Are you aware of any role or business opportunities that Mr. Depp lost as a result of the op-ed by Amber Heard in the Washington Post.
Okay.
Are you aware of any roles or business opportunities that Mr. Depp lost as a result of the Waldman tweet from May 2020 relating to Amber's op-ed?
No.
Is there any other role or business opportunity that Mr. Depp has lost since you started representing him in October 2016? And I'm saying,
I would say his, I would say yes.
what?
The Pirates, the next Pirates movie.
Heard's lawyer demonstrating that you cannot reasonably calculate damage flowing from this particular op-ed and therefore cannot award damages. Yes.
It's 6. I think Pirate 6 is the one that's yet to come out here. And why, what is your understanding of why Mr. Depp lost Pirate 6?
My opinion is that it was related to the accusations that Amber has made.
And what is your opinion based on?
Excuse me?
What is your opinion based on?
Conversations with colleagues and studio execs.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Conversations with studios and
So there's two
other
different things here.
executives,
There's two different
both internal and
involvements
external.
that we need to pay consideration to, which is that Johnny Depp is also kind of seen as like
When you
a
say related
box
to the
office
accusation
killer,
that
not in a
was
good
made
way.
by Amber Heard
At this
against
point in his
Mr. Depp,
career, his
I
career is
can
on a downturn, and he's like made a lot of fucking money leading up to this moment, but he's not necessarily popping anymore. So that is part of the reason why it's like hard to calculate whether it was because of that or because of the fucking domestic abuse accusations.
Other executives.
I have no idea.
More than 5, more than 10?
I don't know
Or
about
both,
more than
which
10,
I happen to think is
probably between
both.
5 and 10.
Who do you recall speaking with?
But
at
Pirates is
studios?
like the one absolute redeeming one because Pirates of the Caribbean is like, you're saying it's on its way out and
Jerry
4 and 5
Bruckheimer.
were ass, but it doesn't fucking matter because like it's still it
Mostly Jerry.
had like
and
6
then
straight box office
colleagues
bombs. The
at
Pirates
CA.
movie made a shit ton with him as lead.
When did
Exactly.
you first have any conversations with Jerry Bruckheimer?
It doesn't matter.
Pirate 6.
It doesn't matter. The Pirates franchise is like a fucking cash cow.
Recall whether it was in
So many years of
2016,
fucking revenue that you can milk out of that. It's so much. It's incredible IP.
2019.
I don't.
When did you have any conversations with colleagues at CAA?
It would have been whenever the decisions were being made about how to cast that movie. I don't honestly, I don't know what year that was.
Do you recall who you spoke with at CAA?
I spoke with Jack Wiggum.
Claudia Wowpow. That is not true. Johnny Depp has several films and awards. He's one of the most successful actors. Did you not hear what I just said and just completely avoided the actual point I made just to make a point that makes it seem like your side is more favorable when I'm already on Johnny Depp's side? Like, I wasn't supportive enough of Johnny Depp to recognize that, like, he had back-to-back box office flops in that same time sequence, whereas Pirates was still going to be a major success regardless, and therefore him losing Pirates alone is enough for fucking justifying a $50 million defamation suit in damages.
And did Mr. Bruckheimer?
Yes, I know that Johnny Depp was a wonderfully successful actor, but that does not change the reality that sometimes people have waves in their careers. Okay? And Johnny Depp had a fuckload of movies that he appeared in that were not great.
Did you ask?
Now, that is one of the considerations that you have to, that's one of the considerations that come into play when discussing why Johnny Depp was losing
Because
some of these other roles potentially.
aware of what
I'm talking about his career, lol. Yeah, I already fucking said that his career was popping beforehand.
Whether or not he could be employed.
Anyway, just like, you know, the top of the hour is here, and that doesn't make for a good segue, but I'm just going to give it to you anyway. I'm running an ad. I'm running a 60-second ad break. Okay, here it is. Here's the 60-second ad break now, boys and girls. If you no longer want to see them, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
I'm wrong. The only person at Disney that you spoke with about pirates and employing Mr. Depp was Jerry Bruckheimer, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you spoke between 5 and 10 times with Mr. Bruckheimer, and he did not say in any of those conversations the reason we're not employing Mr. Depp is because of Amber Heard's accusations of domestic violence and abuse by Mr. Depp, correct?
That's good.
Mr. Carino, when we went off for the break, we were talking about your discussions with Jerry Bruckheimer and other executives at CAA respecting Mr. Depp not being employed further at Disney and likely not pirates. And I think a question came up right before the break. And so I just want to make sure that I have clear. Did you talk with anyone other than Jerry Bruckheimer at Disney about Mr. Depp not being employed again at Disney or Pirates?
No.
Okay. And was I correct that you, in understanding you had...
It's a deposition that they filmed back in January 19th, 2021 that they're using in this defamation lawsuit, okay?
Probably less than that. I talk to Jerry regularly, but probably not that many on this topic.
Okay. And was there anyone else at Disney that you spoke with at any point about Johnny Depp being considered for pirates or not being employable by Disney?
No.
Okay. And is that true to the present?
Yes.
Okay. And the other discussions that you had, those were all with executives at CAA?
Yes.
And that was Brian Lord and Jack Whittle, correct?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Not that I can.
Is there a
recall
reason
now.
why they can't just ask the executives that made the decision to cut Depp off? Of course not, dude. That's a major fucking
That you
no
believe that
Hollywood studio executive ever wants to rock the boat. They're not gonna come out and be like, yeah, we did it because we thought the abuse allegations were real and we didn't want to take that risk. Are you kidding me? There's a reason why no one wants to touch politics, folks. There's a reason. Sushi Kebab Guy, why don't you work with CAA? I heard they may be reaching out to you. Where did you hear this from? What are you fucking saying right now? Also, I'm with WME.
Correct?
Correct.
CAA is
Well, and I'm
one of the
trying
big
to
four,
reach
or big
that
three, I
because
guess. UTA,
understood.
CAA,
I'm trying
WME,
to
WME, and CAA are the
discover
two
any
top
facts that would have led you
firms
to
in the
believe
industry.
It was understood. And if I'm understanding, use the same word, Mr. Bruckheimer didn't tell you that, correct?
Again, it was understood. So I don't recall whether either of us ever said anything specific about why, but it is something within the industry that is understood.
Can you tell me whether any other actors did not receive roles or were unemployable because of the Me Too movement allegations? Other than Mr. Depp, I'm asking.
Not that I work with directly, no.
In any of your discussions with Mr. Bruckheimer, did you ask him what Mr. Depp could do to become employable by Disney again, or to be able to get any part of any Pirates franchise going forward?
No.
Why not?
Because in cases like this, there is nothing anybody can do. It is the directive of the studio and they have the sole right to make the judgment whether they can continue to employ somebody or not.
And your understanding from your discussions with Mr. Bruckheimer is that Disney had made the judgment to decide that they could no longer employ Mr. Depp. Is that correct?
Yes, but not solely based on conversations with Mr. Bruckheimer. It was cumulative with the internal and external conversations.
What did Mr. Lord say that led you to believe that Disney had made the decision, the judgment that they were not able to employ Mr. Depp at Disney?
Just that the decision had been made.
Motherfucker said COVID's not real. What am I feeling then right now? Why am I sick?
What did Mr. Whittam say about
The
Disney
same.
making the judgment of whether they would not be able to employ Mr. Depp first?
Same thing.
Okay. Just that they made the decision.
Correct.
Were you aware of any problems on the set with Mr.
Fake.
Depp?
It's the fake
during
virus.
filming
It's the
of
pandemic.
Pirates 5? Were you aware of Mr. Depp engaging in alcohol and drug use, being tardy, any of those issues during the filming of Pirates 5?
I'm aware of him being tardy.
Yeah,
but
how
he's
like
been
that
tardy on
doesn't mean
everything.
anything, dude. It's Hollywood. Every single fucking mega talent is like that, and they also
Were you
smell
aware
bad
of
too.
whether that
There is
was-
not. That is never going to be a reason to fucking kick someone off set or not have them
wasn't
work
to
on the
everybody,
project.
but,
Okay, they can be literally
everyone
fucking
has
abusive and
learned
still
how
get a
to
shitload of jobs in Hollywood as
to
long as
deal
you're a
with it.
fucking box office seller. Okay.
Working around Mr. Depp?
Yes.
Do you know whether there was anyone on the set of Pirates 5 who wasn't willing to deal with it and was quite irritated by it?
No.
Were you aware that
Jared Leto sent
the filming
used
had to be
condoms to
shut
people
down for a
apparently
period of time?
on the set of that
after Mr.
horrible
Depp injured
Suicide Squad film.
Yes.
Were you aware of any disagreements between Mr. Depp and Disney, including Mr. Bailey and
No, we
others
didn't. That was fake.
were
Oh God, we have
on the
Jared Leto
project
fans in here.
about artistic differences? In
Well,
other
he's the one who
words,
admitted
where
it,
Mr. Depp
so-
thought something should be this way or something should be that way, and they didn't agree with it.
Yes.
Okay. What is your understanding of that?
There was a difference of opinion on how the film was edited.
And what is your understanding of what Mr. Depp thought it should be edited to?
I don't know how to describe the difference between the Disney edit and Johnny's preferred edit. I think Johnny told me about it, talked about it a little bit.
Do you know how well Pirates 5 did at the box office?
Not
See,
exactly.
he did that when he said he did
Do you
that.
know
So
whether
unfair.
it
I know
was-
it's so fucked up.
It was more successful or less successful than earlier.
It's fucked up
Pirates.
of me to repeat what Jared Leto
I
said
think it was
about what he
slightly less
did
than-
on the set
it
of
wasn't the most
Suicide Squad.
successful installment of that franchise.
Do you know whether Mr. Depp has a pay or play clause that would pay him even if he was not in the subsequent Pirates 6?
In 6,
Yes.
I don't think he does.
Have you or anyone at CAA on behalf of Mr. Depp made any efforts with Disney to find any roles for Mr. Depp since he filmed Pirates 5?
He said that, but no one ever
My
confirmed anyone
efforts
received anything
were
like that, except for
Probably
Will Smith,
primarily
who did
around
confirm it.
Houdini, which at one point was a
Will Smith
film.
literally confirmed it. We
But,
watched the Philly-on video yesterday,
other
man, on
people
the
at
red
CAA
carpet.
for sure
Now,
did
it could have
that.
been like lame-ass Hollywood lies, you know what I mean? It did that easily could have been the case, but don't act like
I
that
would
wasn't the
start with
case.
Jack Wiggum.
Why are you going out the bat to defend the Morbius guy, dude? What is happening?
We'll now play volume 2 of Mr. Carino's deposition, at which
Okay. maybe time for afternoon.
Sure.
Why don't we just close enough to it?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right, before we get to volume 2, let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break. Please do not talk to anybody about the case and don't do any outside research. Thank you.
You two working together, is that right?
Yes.
And in that regard, did you and her do anything social?
Yes.
And can you describe for me generally what types of activities you two would do together
Hilarious.
as friends?
We would go to dinner,
It's
go to
them.
events together,
It is them.
hang out at each other's residences.
And at some point in time, did you consider Mr. Depp a friend?
Yes.
I got to pee. I'll be back.
And how did that relationship evolve? And I'm just talking about you and Mr. Depp becoming friends.
I spent a fair amount of time with both of them together, and at some point started to spend time with him on my own as well.
I see. And at some point in time, did Mr. Depp become a good a friend to you as Ms. Heard? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Let me re-ask that also. Did you consider, at some point in time, did you consider Mr. Depp a friend to the same degree you considered Ms. Heard a friend?
Yes.
And at some point let me ask you, at some point in time, did you represent Mr. Depp professionally?
Yes.
And can you explain to me how it came to you representing Mr. Depp professionally?
Johnny asked me to represent him.
And when you began representing Mr. Depp, did you continue representing Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And do you recall who Mr. Depp's agent was prior to you?
He was represented at another talent agency, UTA.
Do you still work for Mr. Depp?
I do not.
Do you recall when you stopped working for Mr. Depp?
He was like, no, he's a domestic abuser. What if he said that? He's like, no, man, he wasn't getting any
Within
jobs.
the past 2 years.
He's about to be like, no, dog, he wasn't getting jobs. I had to drop him.
Describe the circumstances of you no longer working for Mr. Depp.
He left CAA to follow an agent who left CAA to become part of a founding group in a new management company.
Oh, that's literally what happened with my agent as well.
Who's that
But I
person?
kept the CAA
Jack
team
Wiggum.
or the WME team. This happens regularly, for the record,
Was
including
Mr.
with my
Wiggum ever
agent at
affiliated with
WME who went
CAA?
over to night management.
Yes.
Okay. And say that when Jack
Why is
Wiggum
Chris
departed
Evans
CAA,
copying you?
Johnny went with him?
Yes.
Okay. And when Mr.
Dude,
Depp
I didn't
left,
invent the concept of a mustache. But thank you for thinking that.
left CAA, did you remain friends with him?
No.
Okay.
Damn, cold-blooded.
I should probably first ask, at some point in time,
But nah.
did your friendship with Mr. Depp end?
Yes.
And when was that?
I would say at the time he left CAA.
And did him leaving CAA have something to do with the end of the friendship?
I don't know.
Are you still friends with Miss Heard?
No.
And when did that friendship end?
Probably when the legal disputes started.
And what legal dispute are you referring to? This one?
Fake friends all around, dude.
I'm not sure which one was first, but one of the
So-
disputes between Johnny and Amber.
Someone said my man is guilty of having no friends. He's not on trial here,
You're
chat.
not referring to their divorce, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you remain
What's
friends
wrong
with
with
both
you?
of them through their divorce. Is that accurate?
He said, I am
Yes.
not your friend, Ludwig style.
Although you're no
He's like,
longer
I am not
friends
your
with
friend.
Mr. Depp, do you have any animosity towards him?
I do not.
And same question with respect to Ms. Heard. Although you're not friends with her any longer, do you have any animosity towards her?
I do not.
Do you recall when it is the last time you spoke with Ms. Heard?
I do not.
Would it have been around the same time that your friendship ended with her?
I would assume so.
Exhibit 16.
No,
He looks
Mr.
like you in
Carino,
15 years. Bro, he's a good looking
see at
dude.
the
I mean, I'll
bottom
take
here,
it.
And tell me if you can see it. If you see at the bottom, it has a bait stamp number under the yellow tag, CC00070.
Yes.
Do you recognize this document? And take your time if you need to review it.
So annoying. He literally said he didn't know how things were affected by the cases, but he's directly saying that the case affected the work he could get them. I mean, that's not annoying. He's trying to cover his fucking ass to make sure that he can like legally say, without admitting the full blown like impact. He can't figure out what kind of damages can be awarded in such a defamation suit, so he can't fucking tell you the monetary reasons. There's also additional
Yes.
problems with that.
Okay.
Like,
And do you understand this to
agents
be
or
true,
executives, media executives are
authentic-
not going to come out and like go out to bat and be like, yeah, we refused Johnny Depp a job because we thought the domestic abuse accusations were real. Like, they're not going to fucking say that, because then they open up themselves up to like wrongful termination suits. You know what I mean? So that's why he's trying to literally say, yes, I believe he lost job opportunities, without actually openly fucking saying it. Don't get sucked in by the you know, Amber Heard's defense team doing lawyer speak.
And you've read this email from Ms. Heard to you, correct?
Correct.
So at this point in time, was she a close friend of yours?
Yes.
And ultimately, did she leave CAA?
Yes.
And it was at this time?
Yes.
No, they're questioning him
The
back in
entire
March
time you
11th.
represented Ms. Heard. Did Mr. Depp ever
This is his new
interfere with you?
Last year, he was in his old house. I almost bought that house. He's in his new house now, I think.
Did he ever ask you to do anything with respect to her career?
Not that I can recall.
Exhibit 17.
Now, Mr. Carino, this particular document was not produced by you. You'll see that at the bottom here. The bait stamp indicates ALH. That means it was produced by Ms. Heard. And this appears to be a text exchange between you and her. It's about a page and a half. If you could take the time to read it, and then I will ask you questions about it.
I read it.
You'll see at the top, Mr. Carino, that it's dated July 14th, 2016. Based on that date and based on reading this text exchange, at this point in time, were you close friends with both Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And having read the text exchange, do you believe this to be a true and correct representation?
Why
of
would
the
you say you
exchange?
almost bought Depp's old house? No, that's fucking random CIA agent's old house. I don't have enough money to buy Johnny Depp's old house. He's got like 6 penthouses, weirdo.
Now, you start the text exchange by indicating JD just surfaced.
Johnny Depp
Who is-
owns an
what is the
island,
JD
chatter.
reference?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Johnny Depp.
And she says, I saw Laurel yesterday. Who is Laurel?
Laurel's a therapist.
Do you know her full name?
Laurel Anderson.
Did you independently know Laurel?
Yes.
Yeah, broke boy manager can't even
Did you
own a
have
fucking
anything
real
to do
Liechtenstein
with,
or however you fucking say it.
Laurel seen either Ms. Heard or Mr. Depp?
Yes.
And can you explain that to me, please?
I introduced them all.
And what was the purpose of you introducing her to them?
They needed help.
And can you explain to me in more detail what you mean by that?
I think it was at a time where they needed somebody to help mediate the difficulties they were having.
And what do you mean by difficulties?
The strains on their relationship.
And in that regard, did you have conversations with Ms. Heard about the state of her relationship with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
I'm trying to determine for how long a period of time did Ms. Heard have conversations with you about the state of her relationship with Mr. Depp? Can you give me a time frame?
I would say she talked to me about the state of their relationship from the beginning until the end.
The entire time you knew her? I'm sorry, the entire time you considered her a friend?
Yes.
And how about Mr. Depp? Did you have conversations with him about the state of his relationship with Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And were those ongoing during the entire time you were friends with him?
Yes.
You say they both confided in you in that regard?
Yes.
So back to this text exchange. Where my cursor is, Ms. Heard says to you, yeah, she said that Johnny and I need to talk directly. Do you know who Ms. Heard's referring to there?
Laurel.
That was your understanding after reading this?
Yes.
No wonder he's guilty of no
And
friends.
then
He was
you ask her,
gossiping with
do you
both
want to
of
do
them.
something tomorrow? She says, yeah.
Andrew Garfield,
says,
after the
IDP,
Spider-Man
I
franchise,
do,
took a hit, and he has never been the
say
same,
hi.
brother.
Okay. And then you say, what is safe to do? Do you want to come to my place for dinner? What did you mean by what is safe to do?
It meant avoiding paparazzi.
Okay. And then she says, it's so fucked up. I just want to tell him that what they are telling him isn't true. What was your understanding of what she meant by that sentence?
I don't recall.
Mr. Garino, while she's doing that, at the outset of this deposition, I asked you if you recall being deposed about a year ago in this case, and you said yes. Is that accurate?
Spider-Man, buy my home?
Yes.
What?
Okay. What I'm going to show you now is the transcript, a portion of the transcript from that deposition. And who is Mr. Bruckheimer?
That's so stupid.
Jerry Bruckheimer is the producer of the Pirates franchise.
And who is Mr. Wiggum?
Jack Wiggum was an agent at CA who worked with Johnny.
Okay. And who is Mr. Lord?
Brian is one of the managing partners of CAA and also worked on Johnny Depp.
And what was your understanding of why the Pirate 6 job was not offered to Mr. Depp?
Leo, you're asking my opinion?
Yes.
Because of the accusations that Amber had made.
Oh, damn, got him.
And what I'm about to show you, Mr. Carino, is a article in the Washington Post authored by Ms. Heard. You're going to notice that the article will be presented sideways. So you'll have to tilt your head a bit to review it.
Exhibit 19.
Do you, first, Mr. Carino, why don't you take control and just scroll through the document? It's just a couple.
Like, why didn't he answer the question in 2022, but not in 2021? He did answer it in 2022 as well. They specifically were asking, like, do you think that there were damages? And that was an assessment that he could not personally, professionally make. He did answer it in 2021 as well, though. He did say, my personal opinion is that yes.
Next page.
Yeah, when there's a jump like that, it's just at the top of the next page.
I took it as dodging in 2021, and now he's legit saying it out loud in 2022. Thank you for the clarification. No, he mentioned it in 2021 as well. There's a difference between him saying, in my personal opinion, the Pirates saga was clapped because of the accusations, or the Pirates 6 franchise was clapped because of the accusations, versus like he lost out on a lot of opportunities. Is difficult for him to. I mean, it's two different assessments. I was exposed to abuse at a very young age. I knew things early on without, like many women, I've been harassed and sexually assaulted by the time I was at college age, but I kept quiet. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse. And I felt the full force of the culture's wrath for women who speak out. Friends and advisors told me I would never work again as an actress, that I would be blacklisted. A movie I was attached to recast my role. I had shot 2-year campaigns to face a global fashion brand, and the company dropped me. Questions arose as to whether I'd be able to keep my role as Mera in the movies Justice League and Aquaman. I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse. But she's saying that she was the one for speaking out against abuse, that she withstood from Johnny Depp, was blacklisted from Hollywood. In fact, like if you look at her career opportunities, Johnny Depp personally tried to get her to get kicked off of Aquaman. Okay, I have a text message in front of me that I will read right now, including other horrible things that Johnny Depp has texted about her. But he said, of his sister and producer, Johnny Depp demanded, I want her to be replaced on the WB film, which Depp admitted referred to Aquaman. And he failed. He was not able to get that wish. He regularly said on multiple occasions, sent like really fucked up text messages to his friends, saying things about Amber Heard. Yeah, I love all the protecting they did when they took all of his Hollywood work away. Whereas ultimately, despite Johnny Depp's best attempts, he was not able to get Amber Heard off of anything. And dude, why is this guy still reading? Why does it take you so long to read? What the fuck is going on? Motherfucker, I read this like 12 times already. Oh my God, dude.
Okay.
Mr. Carino, have you seen this document before?
Yes.
Do you know who wrote this document?
Yes.
Who wrote this document?
Amber.
Amber Heard?
Yes.
And do you see there on this first page of the document?
Homie reads contracts as a part of
It
his
actually
job, bro.
indicates
I
that
would
it's
not
written
trust
by
this man.
Amber Heard on December 18th, 2018.
Yes.
And you understand that this document was authored by Ms. Heard and published on December 18th, 2018.
Yes.
And do you recall reading it at the time it was published?
No.
Mr. Carino, I'm showing you an email exchange in which you were involved. It's just this one page. I'll blow it up so you can review it. Take a second to review it, please.
Isn't it good that he takes more time with documents? Bro, I'm not trusting that man's reading abilities if he can't read for that.
Okay.
Can't read that quickly.
And let's start at the bottom of this. Well, do you see at the top that the email?
It's literally half a
Johnny
page,
Depp's
bro.
Jack Sparrow
And
won't return.
it's half a page. It was blown up, and it took him 7 minutes to read half a page.
This email exchange was on December 20th, 2018, correct?
Correct.
And do you recall that the article you just read published by Ms. Heard was published on December 18th, 2018, 2 days before this?
Yes.
Now, if you go to the bottom of this email, do you see there is this link to an article?
Yes.
And it says,
Oh no,
Your-
chat's gonna turn on me and say I'm being ableist towards dyslexic people. Oh no, I'm seeing it already.
web.com.
No jokes allowed.
Yes.
Mr. Carino, what I put up next to the email exchange that we've been discussing is an article dated December 20th, 2018. Okay.
I have COVID.
So this article is dated December 20th,
I have COVID.
2018.
I can make jokes. I have COVID.
The email sent to you by Robin Baum is that same day, December 20th, 2018, correct?
That was good.
Yes.
Who is Ms. Baum?
Johnny's publicist.
Okay. And she's sending this article to you, is that right?
Yes.
And then in response, you say, were we told this officially from Disney? And she responds, I'm sorry, Jack Wiggum responds, no. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Sure. So you testified just a few minutes ago that it was your opinion that Mr. Depp lost the Pirates 6 movie because of Miss Heard's allegations. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Allegations of abuse, correct?
Yes.
And is this a demonstration of when Disney made that decision to not hire Mr. Depp for Pirates 6?
Yes.
Exhibit 22.
Did you ever see Mr. Depp physically abuse Miss Heard?
No.
Did Miss Heard ever tell you that she had been physically abused by Mr. Depp?
No.
Did Mr. Depp ever tell you that he had physically abused Miss Heard?
No.
Did you ever witness
Doubt he would go around saying
any injuries on Miss Heard that would indicate that she was physically abused?
No.
Now, again, this is a few months after the filing of the divorce papers and the TRO, and Miss Heard states to you, I'll call you right back, sorry. And you say, K. She says, is it too late to call?
that. K. Hit her with the
And
K.
you say,
No wonder he
"Just
doesn't have
mention dinner.
friends,
We'll
bro.
call you as soon as we walk
That's
out."
cold-blooded. That's
Within
cold-blooded. He hit her
20.
with a K.
And she says, please tell him
Hard
I
K.
love him. Is that an accurate reading of the text exchange so far?
Yes.
Do you know if at this time, based on your relationship with Ms. Heard and Mr. Depp, whether Ms. Heard wanted to reconcile with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
It's your understanding that she did?
Yes.
Did Ms. Heard, based on your personal friendship with Ms. Heard, close personal friendship with Ms. Heard, would you say that she confided in you?
Yes.
You're gonna say, why didn't she confide in you about domestic
And
abuse?
what
then?
about Mr. Depp?
Yes.
Why wouldn't they
At
talk
some
about
point
their
in time,
domestic abuse if that was the case? Is what he's.
After Ms. Heard filed those divorce papers in May of 2016, did she make any requests of you to intervene in the relationship between her and Mr. Depp?
What do you mean by intervene?
Assist in, let's start with assist in communications between the two.
Objection. Same objections.
Can you explain to me what transpired in that regard? Walk me through it.
At some point around that time, she wanted me to arrange for them to get together in person.
And what did you do after that was requested of you by Ms. Hurd?
I talked to Johnny about it.
What happened after that?
He was reluctant at first and then agreed.
And then what happened after that?
I mean, this is a long time ago, but I remember there was a fair amount of discussion about
socks.
the TRO, and
I wonder
how
if this
we
is a
were
real
deal
audio.
with that, because nobody wanted Johnny accused of violating the TRO as an outcome of that meeting. And I don't remember exactly what we did, but Amber at some point warranted that she would never accuse him of violating the TRO to do the meeting, and I set the meeting up.
So just so I understand, you set the meeting up.
A temporary
requesting
restraining order, chat.
Objection
Yes.
is
And as part of you setting up, she told you that it didn't matter. What I'm trying to understand what
TRO is a temporary restraining order. TOTH is also important here. It's called the top of the hour. Why is that important? Because I serve you a 1 minute ad break at the top of the hour.
Distance of her.
Okay.
Now, of course, if
And
you no
what
longer
was
want to see
her
those ads at the top of the
suggestion,
hour, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5
respect
or
to
for
that
free
issue?
with a Twitch Prime.
In connection
Yeah.
with her wanting to meet with him.
Yeah, that was a good one,
She
wasn't it? Yeah, you motherfuckers were
promised
saying I
me
lost it.
and
Well, guess
told
what?
me
I'm
to
back.
relay to him
I'm
that
back, bitch.
she would
I'm
never
back.
accuse
Fuck you.
him of violating the restraining order.
Here's the 1 minute ad break
as a
coming to you
result of
now.
agreeing to
Unless
meet
you
her.
have a Twitch Prime, which is
And I
free.
believe,
By connecting your
but I
Amazon Prime
don't
account to your Twitch account, you get 1 free Prime
recall
subscription a month. Here's a 1 minute ad break
exactly.
now.
There were conversations with both sides legally, I believe, at the time, to make it transparent to everybody that this was happening.
Okay. And then what happened next?
I arranged the meeting. Johnny was in San Francisco on tour, and I arranged to borrow a friend's house, and Amber and I flew to San Francisco and drove to the house, and Johnny showed up a few hours later.
And did the two of them meet
Yes,
in the same room?
they sat outside.
Okay. How close to each other were they?
Inches away from each other.
And how long were they out there talking? For how long were they out there talking?
Several hours.
Did you, although you were out there, were you in a position where you could see them through a window or otherwise?
Yes.
At some point in time, the conversation ended, correct?
Correct.
And what happened after that?
I received a call or a text from Steve, whose house it was, and he notified me that he would be coming back to the house within the next hour or so. And I told Johnny and Amber, and we decided to rent a hotel room in San Francisco so that they could continue to talk.
And did that in fact happen?
Objection.
And at some point in time, you left that house, correct,
Oh.
to go to San Francisco?
Get objected on,
Yes.
bitch.
And was it the three of you?
No. Johnny had security with him, and we talked about the fact that it wouldn't be a good idea for them to be seen together. So Johnny
Yes, of
left
course they're cutting the
with
objections.
his
This is
security in
pre-recorded.
his car, and I believe Amber and I took an Uber.
And what happened after that?
We all met at the hotel room.
And do you know what happened after that?
They started arguing.
And do you recall any details of the argument?
No.
And for how long was this argument had in a hotel room?
Project
Yes.
Veritas, dude.
Did
What the
you
fuck is
witness
wrong
the
with you?
entire discussion, or did you leave at some point?
I left the next morning at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning.
And Mr. Carino, I'm showing you emails that were produced by you. First, the bottom of the first page, it starts at the bottom of the first page. The string above it was redacted. And you'll see that it starts on August 7th, 2017. Do you see that?
August 7th, 2017, yes.
Having read it,
Ow.
can you determine who you're speaking with in this text exchange?
Amber,
Oh, hang on. Let me ask you this. Do you know whether or not Ms. Heard ever had a relationship with Mr. Elon Musk?
yes,
Oh, shit.
She did.
Oh, shit.
yes.
So again, it's dated August of 2017. And she says, dealing with breakup, I hate when things go public. See, I'm so sad. Having reviewed the document again, do you have an understanding of what she's referencing there?
I believe she's referring to breaking up with Elon.
You say, seems like a press release.
Uh-oh.
You weren't in love with him, and you told me 1,000 times you were just filling space. What are you saying there?
This guy is
Saying,
like a simp.
why would you be sad if you weren't in love with him to begin with?
Yo, what the
And by him, you're
fuck?
referring to who?
Elon.
Oh my
And
god.
at this
This is
point in
incredible.
time, were you still close friends with Miss Heard?
Looks like that's the case at that time, yes.
And did she still, at this point in time, did she confide in you about her relationships?
Yes.
Yo, I'm sorry. I think this guy was trying to have sex with her. Like, I hate doing this, but I do feel like this dude's giving me
I'm sorry,
big,
she
like,
responds.
ooh,
I know,
like,
but I
I'm friends
wanted
with you,
time
so
to
I can
grieve
try to
and
have sex with
recover
you energy.
in my own time. Is she still referring to Mr. Musk there? Do you know? Your understanding.
I don't know whether she's referring to Johnny or to Elon in that line.
Okay. In this point in time, do you know what her feelings were? What was your understanding? At this point in time, what was your understanding based on your experience with her? What was your understanding of her relationship with Mr. Depp?
I don't believe.
Guys with long hair are slime balls. Excuse me? Fucking chill.
I hate that.
You know who else had long hair? Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, you fucking piece of shit.
So you ask, how so? She says, oops. Meaning they are mad at me for leaving them and put things like this out there. You say, sorry.
For people saying, Jesus, you're Muslim, Islam believes that Jesus was alive, just wasn't like a mythical being.
She says like
Doesn't believe
that.
the magic shit, but
You
says
say,
Jesus Christ was alive.
You
for
could
sure.
avoid all this if you stop dating uber famous people. You can be with a big man who isn't famous. What
Oh my god.
were you?
Oh my god, he's literally like, you shouldn't date someone who's
I
uber
believe what I was
famous
saying was,
like
if you
me.
don't like being in the press about your personal life, then don't date people that are famous.
Sure.
Oh my god, he's literally saying
You
date me
indicated that She
instead.
moved on immediately after after Johnny Depp to date Elon Musk. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Do you have
Oh
an
my
understanding one way or
god.
another whether Ms. Heard and Mr. Musk were in fact dating at the time of the San Francisco reconciliation that she asked you to set up?
I mean,
I
homie
don't
dated Lady
know
Gaga,
whether
so
they
I guess
were
this
dating.
attitude worked.
But they had definitely spent time together.
Do Do you know how long after the San Francisco attempted reconciliation you gained the understanding that Elon Musk and Ms. Heard were in fact dating?
I don't know exactly how long, but not long after.
Do you know who or what was your understanding of who she was referring to when she was said, "Here, I love him"?
Johnny.
Based on this exchange, did you have an understanding at this time whether Ms. Heard wanted to reconcile with Mr. Depp?
I believe she did.
And at this point in time, she was still a close personal friend of yours, correct?
Yes.
And at this point in time, did she consider you a confidant in your understanding?
I think, yes.
Okay, just to authenticate this document again, Mr. Carino, do you see that it's referenced at the bottom, date stamped CC, indicating that you produced this document?
Yes.
And having read this, do you perceive this as a true copy of a text exchange between you and Ms. Heard?
Yes.
Okay. And I will, can you see at the very top here, it's dated August 16th, 2017?
Yes.
Bro, it kind of feels like he wasn't a really good homie to Johnny Depp. Just saying.
And
even
Heard
then,
states
he's
to
like
you,
making it seem as though,
written so many
Amber
notes.
Heard had never opened up to
Can
him
you
about
give him
abuse.
I don't know how or where to
Like
start.
he literally trying to fuck Amber Heard. You know what I mean? It
have to
seems
say,
like,
but I have so many.
and
Finally, I am single.
even then, he's like,
clear
yeah,
my
I never
heart
heard
and
about
mind.
abuse like
I just
that.
want him to know I loved him and that I am sorry. Do you have an understanding of who Ms. Heard is referring to here?
Yes.
And who is Ms. Heard referring to in this text?
Johnny.
And what is she
Are you aware of
asking
the
you to
false
do
propaganda you spread?
She
is
was
really
asking
harmful?
me to deliver
Yes.
a letter that she was writing to him.
Yes, false propaganda such as,
here?
we all deserve a life of dignity,
Did she also want you to explain?
and
it says,
your
"And
net
that I am
worth
sorry."
should not,
What was your understanding of what
subjugate
she was
you
asking you to do there, if any?
for no fucking reason.
I
It's
believe that was
disgusting.
all in
The things I
reference to
advocate for.
getting him a handwritten letter that she was writing or trying to write.
Was it your understanding at the time of this text exchange, August 24, 2017, that Miss Amber was attempting to reconcile with Mr. Depp?
I believe so.
Okay.
Spreading propaganda like, real. Spreading propaganda such
And I know
as,
maybe this
gay
may sound
people
repetitive,
exist in
but
society and
on
you
August
should not
20
marginalize them and
text on
harm
August
them.
24th,
Fucked up.
2017, you and her were still close personal friends, correct?
I believe so.
There's not much here at all, Mr. Carino, but I did want to confirm that this was a document produced by you, correct, based on the date stamp on the bottom?
Yes.
And do you see it's dated September 27th, 2017?
September 23rd.
Oh, you're right. My apologies. It's dated September 23rd, 2017. And it's a text to you that says, "God, I miss him." Do you have an understanding of who Ms. Heard is referring to there?
Yes.
And who's that?
Johnny.
And
Oh, dude,
do
he
you
does not
see,
like that.
At the bottom, the date of the text is June 9th, 2018.
She's talking about Harambe?
Yes.
Okay, chatter.
And it says, "I text him happy birthday." Do you know who sent that and who the him is?
I assume this is from Amber and she's talking about Johnny.
You've had a chance to review the whole document. Carino, what does this appear to be?
It appears to be the communications around the time that we set up the meeting in San Francisco.
And who are these communications between?
Me and Johnny.
Okay. And this first bubble, can you tell if the blue is you or Mr. Depp?
I think the blue is me.
Sure. Earlier in your deposition, at the very outset, I was asking you about your representation of individuals at CAA. You indicated that you represent individuals that are both actors and musicians. Would you consider Mr. Depp in that pool?
Yes.
And you represented, or CAA represented him both in connection with his
That
acting
tie is
endeavors
trash.
and his involvement with the vampires?
Yes.
And
You're a simp. That tie is trash. You're
was
simping for
Mr.
no
Depp's
reason.
participation in Hollywood Vampires lucrative?
No.
Not speak on fashion. Shut the fuck up.
Do you know whether or not
The
it
worst
was
part about
something
getting fucking
Mr.
blasted for
Mr.
old
Depp
fits of
enjoyed?
mine on the internet has been like these little fucking dweeb nerds on the internet also thinking that I have bad taste over and over again, when obviously fashion is super subjective. And like even the last fit I blasted on the timeline, motherfuckers were trying to
Plaintiff
say
calls
like it
Laura
sucks.
Wasser by deposition, Your Honor. W.
Sorry for popping off on you. I'm sure you were just making a little baby joke. It's just like so fucking annoying though. Like this fit was objectively good, okay? Well, not objectively. Nothing is objectively good, especially when it comes to fucking fits. But look, this last post on my Instagram, this one, this is not bad. Like it's not a bad fucking fit. And yet for some fucking reason, everyone was still like, dude, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. It's crazy.